Welcome to the fourth part of our ongoing series regarding the publication entitled U.S. Hegemony and Its Perils, which have been distributed throughout various Chinese embassies. This document signifies a notable departure from China's traditional approach to geopolitical matters as it directly challenges the dominant position of the United States. In this particular segment, we will delve into China's critical analysis of the technological dominance held by the United States. As China adopts a more assertive stance towards the U.S., it is imperative to comprehend the fundamental tensions and consequences of this shift. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing so you can stay up to date with our latest episodes and never miss out on our content. Without further ado, let's dive into China's stance on the technological hegemony of the United States. These are the literal words of the Chinese Minister of Foreign Affairs, and we quote, "The United States seeks to deter other countries' scientific, technological, and economic development by wielding monopoly power, suppression measures, and technology restrictions in high-tech fields. The United States monopolizes intellectual property in the name of protection, taking advantage of the weak position of other countries, especially developing ones, on intellectual property rights and the institutional vacancy in relevant fields. The United States reaps excessive profits through monopoly. In 1994, the United States pushed forward the Agreement on Trade-Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Rights, TRIPS, forcing the Americanized process and standards in intellectual property protection in an attempt to solidify its monopoly on technology. In the 1980s, to contain the development of Japan's semiconductor industry, the United States launched the 301 investigation, built bargaining power and bilateral negotiations through multilateral agreements, threatened to label Japan as conducting unfair trade, and imposed retaliatory tariffs, forcing Japan to sign the U.S.-Japan Semiconductor Agreement. As a result, Japanese semiconductor enterprises were almost completely driven out of global competition, and their market share dropped from 50% to 10%. Meanwhile, with the support of the U.S. government, a large number of U.S. semiconductor enterprises took the opportunity and grabbed larger market share. The United States politicizes, weaponizes technological issues, and uses them as ideological tools. Overstretching the concept of national security, the United States mobilized state power to suppress and sanction Chinese company Huawei, restricted the entry of Huawei products into the U.S. market, cut off its supply of chips and operating systems, and coerced other countries to ban Huawei from undertaking local 5G network construction. It even talked Canada into unwarrantedly detaining Huawei's CFO Meng Wanzhou for nearly 3 years. The United States has fabricated a slew of excuses to clamp down on China's high-tech enterprises with global competitiveness and has put more than 1,000 Chinese enterprises on sanction lists. In addition, the United States has also imposed controls on biotechnology, artificial intelligence, and other high-end technologies, reinforced export restrictions, tightened investment screening, suppressed Chinese social media apps such as TikTok and WeChat, and lobbied the Netherlands and Japan to restrict exports of chips and related equipment or technology to China. The United States has also practiced double standards in its policy on China-related technological professionals. To sideline and suppress Chinese researchers, since June 2018, visa validity has been shortened for Chinese students majoring in certain high-tech related disciplines. Repeated cases have occurred where Chinese scholars and students going to the United States for exchange programs and study were unjustifiably denied and harassed, and large-scale investigation on Chinese scholars working in the United States was carried out. The United States solidifies its technological monopoly in the name of protecting democracy. By building small blocks on technologies such as the CHIPS Alliance and Clean Network, the United States has put democracy and human rights labels on high technology and turned technological issues into political and ideological issues so as to fabricate excuses for its technological blockade against other countries. In May 2019, the United States enlisted 32 countries to the Prague 5G Security Conference in the Czech Republic and issued the Prague Proposal in an attempt to exclude China's 5G products. In April 2020, then U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announced the 5G Clean Path, a plan designed to build technological alliance in the 5G field with partners bonded by their shared ideology on democracy and the need to protect cybersecurity. The measures, in essence, are the U.S. attempts to maintain its technological hegemony through technological alliances. The United States abuses its technological hegemony by carrying out cyber attacks and eavesdropping. The United States has long been notorious as an empire of hackers, blamed for its rampant acts of cyber theft around the world. It has all kinds of means to enforce pervasive cyber attacks and surveillance, including using analog-based station signals to access mobile phones for data theft, manipulating mobile apps, infiltrating cloud servers, and stealing through undersea cables. The list goes on. U.S. surveillance is indiscriminate. All can be targets of its surveillance, be they rivals or allies. Even leaders of allied countries, such as former German Chancellor Angela Merkel and several French presidents. Cyber surveillance and attacks launched by the United States, such as PRISM, Dirtbox, Irritant Horn, and Telescreen Operation, are all proof that the United States is closely monitoring its allies and partners. Such eavesdropping on allies and partners has already caused worldwide outrage. Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, a website that has exposed U.S. surveillance programs, said that do not expect a global surveillance superpower to act with honor or respect. There is only one rule. There are no rules. End of quote. This document was released the day before Russian President Vladimir Putin's important annual speech. Additionally, during a visit to President Putin by Wang Yi, Minister of Foreign Affairs of China, it was made clear that the ties between Russia and China are stronger than ever. This raises questions as to why these ties are so strong, and why China is now making remarkably harsh criticisms of the U.S. What is China hoping to achieve? According to their own words, they are coordinating a new era moving towards a multipolar world order. This is the message that Wang Yi conveyed to President Putin, as can be read on the website of the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We quote, "The China-Russia Comprehensive Strategic Partnership of Coordination for a New Era has never targeted any third party, nor does it tolerate any third party's interference or coercion. This is because China-Russia relations enjoy a solid political, economic, and cultural foundation, as well as calmness and clear head from reviewing the past. More importantly, this is because a multipolar world and greater democracy in international relations, which China and Russia jointly support, are in line with the trend of the times and meet the aspirations of most countries. China is ready to work with Russia to maintain strategic resolve, deepen political mutual trust, strengthen strategic coordination, expand practical cooperation, and defend the legitimate interests of both countries, to play a constructive role in promoting world peace and development." End quote. It appears that we are in the midst of transitioning towards a multipolar world order, in which the USA, Russia, and China will emerge as pivotal players, each vying for influence and power in the international arena. In our next video, we will delve into China's scathing criticisms of the United States' cultural dominance. Don't miss out on the latest updates. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. Thanks for watching.